welcome to another episode of The Brothers Watch. As you guys can see, I am by myself. I just got out of I Know What You Did Last Summer, the remake. I'm going to give you everything you need to know before you see this movie and my instant reaction. So spoilers will come later. Just right off the top, it is definitely worth rewatching the first two. The third one we don't count anymore. That doesn't happen. That wasn't lore. 1 and 2 are all that we care about, okay? So, right off rip, there's going to be a lot of references that if you haven't seen the first two, you're not going to get. Some Easter eggs, some really subtle references, and then some really, really, really good references that are like really bring you home if you're a fan of the franchise. As far as the plot really isn't something you need to be super familiar with or spun up on before you see this movie. It does help understand the characters. Spoiler, I guess, technically. They do have some old legacy characters that are brought back, some in good ways, some in bad. We'll get into that here in a second. But overall, you definitely will benefit from seeing the first two, I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Late 90s horror classics. For me anyway, I grew up, those were some of the scariest movies ever to me. Phenomenal movies, definitely worth a watch anyway. Summer vibes, it's just great for this time of year. Okay, so we're gonna fast forward now to my instant reaction. So spoilers ahead. I'm gonna give this movie a 7 flat. I know we don't do flats, but we're gonna do 7 flat. I thought it was lacking in some points, but really, really, really good in other points. It was almost there for me. It really could have been amazing. If you like the whodunit vibes of like Scream or even like Thanksgiving, it definitely is a whodunit. You don't know who the bad guy is, okay? So that's fun, because the whole time you're guessing, is it him, is it her, is it them, who, whatever. So that's kind of fun. The legacy characters are, in my opinion, awful. Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. acting not great. They definitely haven't aged well. And there's a cameo, I guess you can call it, by Sarah Michelle Gellar, who looks fantastic. She looks exactly like she looked 30 years ago, which is crazy, but she looks great. Then they ruin it with this CGI zombie effect on her face, which is like meant to be creepy, but it's just not.
I know I sound delusional, but it's true.
But still good. Big spoiler here. End credit scene. Brandy comes back as Carla. Great. That was phenomenal because she was really the star of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, in my opinion. So,
What you do around here for fun?
Yeah, so the movie. Overall, the plot was good. It started off a little shaky. You guys know in the first movie, it's kind of, they're on that windy road and they hit this guy and you don't really know who they hit necessarily in the beginning. It's kind of the same concept, except this time it's reversed. This time you have the same windy road, 4th of July fireworks are happening, drunk teens out on the road driving. You think they're gonna hit someone, but really they stop, get out of the car, look at fireworks. They're in traffic, somebody swerves off the road, they cause the accident. To me, that's a stretch. It's much less incriminating than hitting someone with your car and then dumping them in the water, like happened in the first one. So that being said, it kind of lost me in the beginning, but definitely still you're able to work past that and enjoy the movie. Kill scenes were interesting, a little more inventive than the previous two movies, at least in my opinion. Still got the hook. He changes up a little bit, uses knives, uses a harpoon, kind of fun. Not outlandish though, it's still very like grounded. It gave Scream vibes, definitely gave Scream vibes, which is gonna lead me into my biggest ick of this movie. Like, oof. And this might be me on a pedestal or my soapbox, but I'm gonna go there for a minute. Legacy characters in horror movies are meant to bridge the new generation with the old generation of fans. Scream did it, Halloween did it. You don't with legacy characters, okay? You don't. Huge spoiler. Ray, the hero of the second movie at least, is a bad guy. He is the guy doing this shit. And to me, it was a little obvious in the halfway through or so. But like, I'm like, there's no way they did this to him. And in my opinion, you just don't do that to legacy characters. I hated that. It is interesting because I haven't seen that really before, where the legacy character who's great before comes back. It'd be like if Dewey was Ghostface. Never. That would never happen. But that's still kind of fun, I guess. What else? It did end on a cliffhanger where there might be another movie coming out. We'll see. You know, one of the bad guys, because there's 2 bad guys. Ooh, shocker.
I feel shocked.
One of the bad guys didn't die, so maybe we'll see if they're going to play into that. And then Carla and the post-credit scene is now being targeted, so maybe that'll play into it. But overall, I thought it was fun. There was some good humor. The acting wasn't awful by the new guys and the girls. They did a good job. I think overall, it's definitely worth going to see. I highly recommend you at least watch like a spin-up video or a breakdown video or the movies of the first 2. I'm pretty sure they're still on Netflix. So watch them before you go see this. You'll appreciate it more. You can find the Easter eggs. Some of the scenes are almost shot-for-shot retakes. It's kind of interesting, actually. So one of the characters who's only in it for a little bit is filming a podcast about the murders that happened in this town 30 years ago. So she's like kind of like going to the old places, and that's how they kind of like tie it all in. So that was fun. I enjoyed that. And yeah, so that's my 2 cents. I don't know that I have much else to say. Actually, I took notes. Let me just... Oh, so there's, you know, in horror movies where you'll have like, you call it the pre-scare, where like the tension's building, there's like an obvious, like they open the fridge door or they open the fridge or the bathroom mirror and then they shut it and nothing's there, but you think something's gonna be there. Like that fake scare and then the real scare happens. I thought this movie actually did a pretty good job at not letting your mind predict what was happening, because there was that tension building and then there'd be no scare, but then there'd still be no scare. So there wasn't like this fake jump scare and then the jump scare. They did a really good job at that. I really enjoyed that, actually. I'll go into some of the Easter eggs just for you guys so you can kind of pick them out as you go through. I'm sure I missed a ton, but in the first movie, there's a scene where Sarah Michelle Gellar is running from the fisherman, whatever you want to call him, David Egan, and she's pulling herself up this rope elevator, and he's swiping at her feet with a hook. Same exact elevator, because they're in the same place, same exact swiping. It's like a shot for shot. Obvious callback to the original movie. Also, Ray, he now has a bar on the water, and in his bar, he's got the plaque from his boat. This is Billy Blue from the first movie, which I thought was pretty cool. They go to the grave sites of all the original characters. They also have a nice callback to Jennifer Love Hewitt's famous line of, "What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for, huh?
So she hits him with that right before, boom, I won't ruin that part, I'll let that live. But that was pretty cool. Overall, I definitely recommend going to see it. I thought it was a fun watch. It wasn't too boring. I wasn't looking at my phone. I wasn't lost in the plot. They kind of like, it could have been so good. I love a good whodunit. And it was a good whodunit. It just got lost in the sauce at some point. So overall, definitely a good watch. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys think if you see it. Let us know what you think if you see it. This is kind of our first dabble into some horror now that we got October rolling around. You know, it'll be that season. If you haven't noticed, every single movie behind me, all the way up, is all horror. So obviously, I'm a fan, so we're going to be getting into it. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Subscribe, like, comment. If you hate me, you don't like the mustache, whatever.